All right, here we are back once again. Today's goal, we want to be able to determine increasing or decreasing intervals. And man, this is such a big part of algebra. And algebra, man, it's so important sometimes in life to know, is something trending upwards or is something trending downwards? Maybe sometimes you even feel this kind of like about your own life. Is my life in generally headed upwards in a good direction? Or is it headed downwards in a bad direction? Man, these are really important things to be able to decide. It could be your finances. Are your finances trending up or are they trending down? It could be your health, physical health, your emotional health, your social life. I mean, there's so many ways you can think of this. Is this trending up? Is it trending down? And we even decide this, as you look at like careers. What career do I want to get into? Well, hopefully you can find a career that's trending up. What kind of car do I want to buy? I want to buy a car whose reliability seems to be trending up and not trending down, right? This is such a big part of what we do in our lives. Well, here we're going to try to quantify this, put this into, turn this into a math problem, right? So let's look at this graph for a second. And you might look at this and say, man, Mr. Klein, this looks like my year. I started really high. I hit a funk in the middle where I went really down. But then I bounced back, I started doing better, now I'm kind of tailing off a little bit. Well, let's look at this. During this graph, we want to identify at what points is this graph going up and at what points is it going down. Well, here we have an arrow, and from this arrow to this x value of 1, the graph's going down, that's negative. All right, and then from 1 to 2, there's really no change at all. Let me even try to zoom in on this a little bit more. Okay, I guess you could even say that's like a slope of 0. It's just flat. From 2 to 4, this stretch right here, the graph is definitely going down again. It's a negative again. And then here's the big uptick. Like this is actually, if you look at this graph, this is the only time on the graph that we can see where the graph goes up. And this would be from 4 on the x-axis to 8 on the x-axis. This is a major uptick. That's the only time the graph goes positive. I'm going to circle these positives and negatives. Okay. And then lastly, from 8 until this little arrow here, once again, it's going down again. Okay. All right, let's put this into kind of a mathematical language. What is or are the increasing intervals for the function shown? The only time this graph goes up is during this interval from this point to this point, and you have to look at the x-coordinates. This point has an x-coordinate of 4. This point has an x-coordinate of 8. So here it is kind of in written language from 4, or you can even write it like this. In written language, you could say from x equals 4 to x equals 8. Well, we have this notation called interval notation. That's a really easy way to write this. It kind of looks like an ordered pair. 4, 8, but in this context, it means all of your x values from 4 to 8. So look at your choices. The answer is D. Okay. Now, question number 4 here uses the same graph. This time we want the decreasing intervals. Okay, you'll notice here the graph goes down from this arrow until you get to 1. It goes down again from the 2 to the 4. Here's another negative, and we've already talked about this. And over here it goes down again from the 8 to this arrow. There's 3 negative intervals here. It goes down from here to here. It goes down from here to here. It goes down from here to here. So put this in the language. It goes down from, so an arrow, if the arrow goes to the left, you actually have to call that negative infinity. So this is going down from the negative infinity to the 1. And then it goes down again from the 2 to the 4. And then lastly, it goes down again from the 8 to the arrow. Now this arrow is going to the right, so we're going to use a positive infinity. So here's the 3 times this graph decreases where it goes down. And if we match it up, once again, choice D. Okay, so that's the gist of this assignment. I'll show you. Let's look at one more. Let's look at number 5. So if there's a curve, you have to decide exactly where that curve changes. So here we have this interval right here. So here it's going down from the -7 to the -6. And then you see this curve starts going up. Okay, from the -6, this graph starts curving upwards. And you can say it actually stops curving upwards right here at -2. So from the -6 to the -2, we say it goes up. But then from the -2 to the 0, it goes back down again. Now from the 0 to the arrow, it's going up. So we look at where is it. You have to read the instructions. Okay, this actually asks for decreasing. So this would be my negative arrows. Here it was negative from -7 to -6. It goes down. The slope is downwards. It went positive from -6 to -2. But then it started going downwards again from -2 to 0. Then, of course, it went upwards again from the 0 to infinity. But these are my decreasing. These are the times it went down. I look at my options. Hey, look at that. It was D once again. All right, so hopefully that's just a short and sweet explanation of what's going on in this assignment. Best of luck to you. Please message me if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.